We need a constitutional monarchy to defeat terrorism. You know, as a result of communications that I've had with my men, and because of Jesuit leader Zach Knight's recent actions, which indicates that no one has any privacy, I recommend that the United States make Barack Obama a king or a monarch so that he can use the same technology on the Jesuits that they use on all of us. You might say, what about the U.S. Constitution? Well, the U.S. Constitution was created in the 1700s, in a time when mind reading, the massive creation of clones, and the existence of the internet, as well as the ability to snoop on all of our lives using sophisticated computer satellite technology did not exist. My men have determined that just about all the amendments to the U.S. Constitution were created by the Jesuit order to make it easier for Jesuits to operate as criminals in order to accomplish their goal for a worldwide takeover for the Catholic Church. And I've included a transcript of an earlier video related to this subject below this video. Even though all the laws I recommended for the terrorist movement thin privilege have passed in Congress, these obese women are not cooperating with the laws and flagrantly violating them, still trying to gain weight, not using the butt plugs, and when they use them, using them in a manner that makes it easy for them to explode. When we ship them up in rockets so that they won't explode on the ground and they'll explode up in space, they, along with the canister that holds their fart gas, are too heavy for the rocket. So the rocket does not make it to outer space and explodes in the air above, releasing all its toxic contents to the people down below, increasing the mental retard population. The problem is that these women have been programmed genetically by Zach Knight and his Jesuits to be obese and to stay obese. And we cannot overcome this genetic programming without violating the outdated U.S. Constitution. We need to be able to use the same technology that the Jesuits outside of the law are using right now. You might say, what about our right to privacy? I understand this concern, but let me tell you my own experience. When I began to realize that I had no privacy because Jesuits wiretapped all my phones, could read my mind, monitored all my online communications, and even worse, as a result of Jesuit monitoring, the Jesuits have even decided to publish some of my private online communications between me and my men, which they discovered through their very intense surveillance of me. I concluded that none of us has any privacy anyways. You might say, well, your men are trolls. That's why that stuff is published online. Actually, I have solid evidence that my men are not trolls. There are several videos that the Jesuits have posted online at their defamatory website, crazygail.com, that I never published anywhere online. I mean, I didn't even send them as an email to my men. And the Jesuits obtained these videos using their surveillance of me by extracting the videos from my computer just because they were on my computer's hard drive. They used technology that enabled them to do this long distance. This was like over a year ago. I was shocked and asked my men how the Jesuits were able to post publicly a video about an interaction I had with my mother that I never published online anywhere, that I didn't even send to anyone as an email. And that's how I found out about this machine they used to extract the video from my computer using some sort of technology that extracted the video from my computer just because it was stored on the hard drive of my computer. They were able to do it. I hadn't sent it to anyone online or posted it to anyone online anywhere. Jesuits also have cloaking and teleportation technology, which means they could materialize themselves right into your house and steal items from your private files or anything else they wanted, and even worse, could use an invisibility shield to do this and you would not be able to see them. They could cloak their body so they could be in your place and you wouldn't even see them while they're stealing. This is how they assisted Ludmila Putin to cause me to trip and fall, because she shoved me using an invisibility shield so that I could not see her near me. She nearly killed me by her shove and possibly could have broken my neck because I fell on hard concrete. I learned later that Jesus Christ cushioned the fall so that I would not have several broken bones. The latest invasion of my privacy occurred when I went to dinner with a Gabrielle Chana Fox News Channel reporter, Melanie, and Judge Terrance Jenkins' nephew. My men have determined that while I was eating in the restaurant with them because I left my bottle in Melanie's car, Jesuit leader Zach Knight entered the car and somehow messed with my water bottle, giving him the ability to make that bottle be his penis. He rubbed his, I don't know what he did. He somehow, we think he used some sort of technology where he put his penis on it and he made it so that the bottle could be his penis. So that when I drank from it, it would make him feel like he had oral sex with me. Apparently, when I drank from it a lot the other day, it so stimulated his penis that he ejaculated into my mouth. And I didn't even know it. The technology today is so advanced that the semen can be cloaked so that I don't even realize that I swallowed a bunch of Zach Knight's semen. I mean, you could go out there, folks, and, somebody could come into your car using invisibility technology so they can't see you, and then they could go into the car and you could drink from a bottle that they programmed to be a penis and have oral sex with somebody you don't want to have oral sex with. I mean, that's what happened to me because I came home and drank from that bottle and I didn't realize I was actually sucking on a penis while I was doing it. So, despite what Zach has posted at his website, Jesus has ordered me to continue to take my Seroquel. He's posted a bunch of junk at his website. And to take it at a regular time. And has said nothing about pregnancy, so I don't believe Zach Knight's garbage that he's made me pregnant. You can't get pregnant from oral sex anyway. However, I am outraged at this total invasion into all of my life. You might say, well, that's your life. We don't have your life, so we are immune. My dear people, the only reason I seem to be the only one whose privacy has been invaded is because that's what the Jesuits want you to believe. In actuality, none of us has any privacy. The Jesuits practice genetic profiling and total and absolute online surveillance and monitoring on everybody. They use brain control, memory removal, which means they could come into your apartment and steal something from your files, and you could see them and catch them, and then they could take you and remove your memory so that you don't even remember that you saw them in your apartment. I mean, how do you deal with a criminal like this? That's what I'm leading up to. They have mind reading. They have drug rape that uses brain control so that a Jesuit can rape you and you will go into another dimension and think you're possibly making love to your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend, when in actuality you're making love to a Jesuit agent, a terrorist. Then you wake up from your dream and discover a stranger in your bed, the Jesuit agent who just drug raped you. This is what happened to Brent Spiner when Jesuit Laurie McBride drug raped him. This nightmare started for Brent in 1992, and he still can't get this Jesuit agent out of his hair. The Jesuits have total control online, so they published a bunch of lies. It's gone so far, she even fabricated a fake marriage license using a Brent Spiner clone. This technology the Jesuits have is really bad, man. Our Constitution can't deal with it. Even after LeVar Burton killed Laurie to save Brent Spiner in 1992, the Jesuits have made hundreds of Laurie McBride clones, and Brent can't get rid of this woman. He can't get rid of the lies about his marital status online either. You might say, this is horrible. What can we do? We need laws that allow us to snoop on the Jesuits, which means we must have access to and the permission to use the same technology on them that they use on us. This is why I wrote Conspiracy Law, which I am not allowed to use now because of a contract that I have with Zach Knight, that I was forced to go into in order to defeat the Gail android. I signed the contract in October 2012. I propose that we abolish the U.S. Constitution and replace it with a new Constitution that is based on my Conspiracy Law, which is the law I wrote to deal with Jesuits and their massive space-age technology. To be honest with you, my Conspiracy Law, which I last worked on years ago, is really outdated. For instance, I would want to amend the part that says a Jesuit would be executed just for being a Jesuit. But we would only execute Jesuits who show clear terrorist intent. I no longer believe that all Jesuits deserve the death penalty. Jesuit Rule 13 has worked with us the past year and has been very helpful to us at Church of Gail. I simply don't have time right now to write the amendments to my conspiracy law to reflect the massive amount of new knowledge we've gained about the Jesuits since 2007 or 2008, which is the last time I worked heavily on conspiracy law. I propose that we hold an election to vote for a United States monarch, a king or a queen. I recommend Barack Obama as the U.S. king. We also need to relax about the PRISM program, which authorizes intelligence agencies to monitor the phone, email, and other communications of U.S. citizens for up to a week without obtaining a warrant when one of the parties is outside the U.S., because we really need access to more information to protect our citizens against Jesuit space-age criminal technology. None of us has any privacy anyways. So what we need is the ability to ensure that those who do snoop on us, like the Jesuits, are not able to use the knowledge they've gained to defame us online like the Jesuits have done to me, or to attack our health, use brain control, or rape, or attack us in other ways. I'm a victim of rape too. I mean, Zach Knight has raped me. I highly recommend that Barack Obama become the U.S. king, simply because the real Barack Obama died in 2012. The Jesuits decapitated him. And Jesus has replaced the real Barack Obama with an automaton who has all the capabilities of the real Barack Obama. Because Barack is an automaton created by Jesus, he cannot become evil or be cloned. That's an advantage. We've had problems with George W. Bush and Vladimir Putin clones. Besides, if Barack became a king and he replaced our current, and after he became king, he decides to replace our current U.S. Constitution with a constitutional monarchy based on my conspiracy laws, but updated to be better than my conspiracy laws, we would be able to detect immediately if the president or head of state became a clone or became under Jesuit brain control, or if the Jesuits turned him into a retard, maybe because he breathed in some fart gas somewhere from an obese woman. My conspiracy law allows the government to use the same technology the Jesuits use, but makes it a crime to use that technology in a manner that harms the health, privacy, reputation, and sanity of innocent persons. This new monarch could view my conspiracy law and update it, perhaps with the help of Harvard Law School, which is Barack Obama's alma mater, and a law school that has given me an honorary doctorate in law because of my conspiracy law. And he could truly make my conspiracy law his own law, which he could then copyright as his own law. I mean, if he bases it on my law, but he changes it significantly, it's no longer my law, it's his law, so he could copyright it. My conspiracy law needs some serious modifications anyways to reflect the latest technologies. Once this new law is passed, we have a righteous king, we will be able to use the same technology on the Jesuits they use on us, and this will help us to more efficiently deal with the fat chicks exploding, the Jesuit rapists and terrorists, and the tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and other catastrophes that the Jesuits create with their computer satellite technology. What Barack Obama would create would not be my conspiracy law because I'm not a lawyer. It would be better than my conspiracy law, based on my conspiracy law, but updated with the help of Harvard Law School. Let's vote for Barack Obama to be the United States king now, so that we can arrest the fat chicks, terrorists, and other Jesuit orchestrated catastrophes and get this stuff under our surveillance using 21st century laws that respect each of us as individuals, allowing us to have our own autonomy instead of being under Jesuit mind control. In our current situation, Jesuits are committing all sorts of crimes against innocent persons and getting away with it because they use 21st century technology that outsmarts the 18th century U.S. Constitution and its Jesuit amendments. Ironically, us Americans worship the U.S. Constitution as if it was the Bible itself, but none of the righteous governments in the Bible